Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about fears. Fears cripple us and hinder us from pursuing our dreams, but it's also a powerful tool if we can control it. So I'm going to tell you 3 stories about times I've experienced great fear and how it's changed me and my outlook on life. So one of the first experiences I had with real fear was when I was a child. I was in the 4th or 5th grade and I was doing a talent show at my school, my elementary school. And I was doing gymnastics and breaking. This was literally the first time I performed alone in front of a crowd. And I was always a shy boy growing up. But for some reason I had incredible fear and I had this incredible stage fright. And I did not want to start dancing. I didn't want to start the performance. The music was playing and I just did not want to go. I didn't want to perform at all. It got so bad to the point where I started tearing up a little bit, and I remember that moment so vividly. I don't know if it was because I didn't want to be judged by people or if I thought I was gonna mess up or why I was afraid, but I remember just being so locked into not wanting to do anything and honestly having a panic attack. So that was a crazy moment for me, and I'm sure video of that performance exists somewhere. I feel like it'd be very valuable to watch because I overcame it, and although I messed up in some of the tricks and I probably wasn't doing a very good job at staying on beat with the music, it was a good learning experience, and I was able to grow from it for sure. And although I still get nervous for performances, I've never had to feel that type of fear before. And I think going from that moment to where I am now, where I can just go out and bust, makes me extremely proud of who I am, and I can call myself a performer now. I think just having that moment, for me, it was almost like a movie, and I'm so happy that I was able to overcome it, but man, that was crazy. The second story is from when I was in college, and this was a very stressful time for me. So there was 1 week, my sophomore year, where I had 2 midterms, I had a project due, I was doing a case competition with crew members who were business majors, even though I was an engineering major, and I had this injury on my leg. I'll see if I can find photos. I was doing pretty poorly in terms of schoolwork that semester. I got a warning email that said, your grade in this class is so low that you might not pass. Here's a drop deadline. And that freaked me out because even though there was a curve in the class, I felt like I had to overcome so much just to pass. And at that time, my sophomore year, I wasn't just into passing, I wanted to do well because I was building up momentum in terms of my grades, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be. So, to reiterate, I had 2 midterms for classes that I was borderline failing. I had to work with friends for a presentation that was unrelated to school, and I could barely walk because I had this crazy infection or problem with my leg, which I never found out why it happened. And that week was just so tough for me because I felt like if I made any mistake or if I didn't give 100% of my effort, that I would have to retake classes or take extra semesters for school, and my parents weren't too happy with me if that was gonna be the case because college is expensive, and they were mad at me for dancing too much, and it was just a huge stress on me. And whatever fears I had are irrelevant now that I graduated and I'm successful, but being a student and having your whole world be determined by 1 week is insane. And I'm glad I overcame that and realized that grades and my ability to perform in case competitions or other projects is an indication of the type of person I am, but it doesn't define me as a person. I'm glad that I've come to appreciate the fact that I am a unique individual with different skills that aren't necessarily book smarts or, I guess, public speaking skills, but it's about the journey and it's about learning about myself through adversity. And I feel like overcoming that week has allowed me to realize I can overcome anything, and that a lot of problems that I have sometimes aren't as big as I think they are. And so I'm really appreciative of the experience, and I continue to grow. Right, last one. So the reason I'm making this video about fears is because last week I had this panic attack, in a way, of me not being able to run the marathon. I signed up for it last year in December because earlier in the summer, I guess, or the springtime, everyone at my gym said that we were going to run it together, and I was like, alright, this is going to be awesome. My sister ran it last year, I can do it too, and if everyone's doing it together, then this will be a really great experience. Everyone dropped out, and so it was just me, it still is me, signed up to run this marathon. And I've been running a lot after work, multiple times a week, and for distances I never thought I would be able to run, especially since I was never someone who was strong at cardio. I really trained hard for this, and some people will criticize me for not training harder or for having a poor diet or anything like that, but in my mind I thought I worked really hard, and my knee would hurt when you extended it too far. So having this pain when I run really got to me, and it just brought me so much sadness. And I kept telling people like, oh, I'm gonna run it and I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna run the whole thing, like I'm not gonna walk. And me thinking to myself, oh crap, what if I can't actually finish this, made me terrified. But when I do set my eyes on something, set my eyes on a goal, I go after it with 200% effort. And you're like, that doesn't make sense mathematically speaking. I don't really care. At this moment, I would say that I'm gonna do my best, because that's all anyone can ask for. My knee feels a little bit better, but I need to take it easy because I don't want to try and catch up to where I should be in my training and then hurt it again right before and not have enough time to then heal. So I'm still taking it easy, but at this point I'm more calm about it, you know. I just want to finish, I want to enjoy the experience. I made a bet with people that I would finish without walking, and if I don't, I will be a little bit disappointed in myself. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with walking. I think finishing is an accomplishment on itself. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that for sure. I hope you enjoyed these stories. They weren't really stories as much as they were analysis of times in my life. So I'm sorry for that if you were a little bit disappointed, but I'm still getting used to sharing personal things with you guys, my audience. But if you enjoyed this video, like or subscribe if you haven't, and write a comment, let me know that I'm doing good, or suggest topics for me if you want. That's pretty much it. I hope these get better with time. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I hope you take care of me. I'm scared of the present cause the future is right.
Better lighting.